Hey, what is up heroes, and welcome to my team for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now I am very excited for these games, and quite a few people have asked me what's my team going to be, and honestly I have a few ideas but I'm still bouncing around right now, but I kind of want to build something that I wanted to use for a long time but really never had the opportunity to use it in certain games. And also I don't know whether I want to play Pikachu or Eevee yet. Like, I'm going to get both games, but I don't know which one I want to do a series on. So I'm going to tell you guys what my team's going to be for Pikachu and what my team's going to be for Eevee, and then maybe I'll use them teams in a playthrough. Like, I think these are the teams I'm going to use, but obviously my opinion might change while playing the game. I might think, oh, I want to use this Pokemon instead, but right now my feelings are this is what my team, or my teams are going to be for the games. So let's start off with the first Pokemon on each team. So I think this is kind of obvious, but for Pikachu version, I'm going to keep Pikachu on the team, and for Eevee version, I'm going to use Eevee on the team. So I'm not sure if anyone else is like this, but whenever I get a starter Pokemon, I always want to keep that on my team for my playthrough until maybe after I finish the main game. And for Pikachu and Eevee, because you can like dress them up and get the little haircuts, I have to keep these two Pokemon on the team because they're going to be so fun to play around with. And I've just recently seen the trailer for Pikachu where you can get the like Sparky's hair from the anime, and I was like, okay, 100%. I always name my Pikachu Sparky because I think the Sparky from the first anime is just so cute and adorable, and I love him. And the fact that I can actually make my Pikachu in-game look like that, 100% I'll be doing that. And for Eevee, I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. I just know he's not going to have the bowl haircut because that just looks so bad. But I'm keeping Pikachu and Eevee because just the customization and their special moves, like, I'm really interested to see how they play out in the game. So my first Pokemon for Pikachu and Eevee is going to be Pikachu and Eevee. So let's get on to the second Pokemon of the list. For Let's Go Pikachu, I'm going to be using an Arcanine for a couple of reasons. One, Arcanine is my second favourite Pokemon from the Kanto region, first being Mewtwo, but I'm not going to be using legendaries on the team, plus Mewtwo is going to be the last thing we do in the game most likely, so he's not going to really have a spot on the team until post-game. And second of all, Growlithe is exclusive to Let's Go Pikachu, so if I wanted to use a Growlithe in Let's Go Eevee, I'd have to trade one over, and I'm pretty sure it'll still work the same as like the normal Pokemon games, but if I trade a Pokemon over, it's going to get boosted XP, and it'll just make, you know, leveling up kind of a pain in the butt, because this Arcanine that would be on Eevee would end up just getting super over leveled and might not obey me and whatnot, so I want to try and keep my Pokemon's original trainer to the trainer in-game, so that's why I'm going to be having Arcanine on my team on Let's Go Pikachu. So for Let's Go Eevee, yes, most likely I'll be using a Ninetales on the team. I really do like Ninetales. I think its shiny is amazing. If I found a shiny Vulpix in Let's Go Eevee, oh, 100% that would be staying on the team. However, because I do like Ninetales, but there is a Fire-type Pokemon in Kanto that I like more than Ninetales that I should be able to get in Eevee, and that is going to be a Charizard. Charizard is my third favourite Pokemon from the Kanto region, and I don't know, I kind of fancy using one quite a bit. I'm not too sure yet if I want to use them though, because I've used Charizard so many times, but if it's like Pokemon Yellow where you can get the free Kanto starters, we'll be getting Charmander quite early on, much before we get a Vulpix, so it's likely I might have Charmander on the team for a little while to help out with some gyms and stuff, then maybe switch Charmander out for Vulpix once we kind of get near that kind of Celadon City area. But again, I'm not entirely sure if I want to use Charizard or Ninetales right now. It's just a very split right now. It's like 50-50. It could go either way. It depends how I feel when I play the game. Like, I haven't used Charizard in a couple playthroughs right now, and Ninetales I recently used, so I'm kind of leaning more towards Charizard, but I do really like Ninetales, so again, it's gonna be a split decision. Alright, on to the third Pokemon for my team. For Let's Go Pikachu, this all depends on a certain mechanic in the game. So the third Pokemon on my team is going to be a Alolan Ninetales, or it's going to be a Tauros. So the reason for this is I'm not too sure how it's going to work in game. If we can transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go quite early, it looks like it's going to be where the Safari Zone was replaced with this like kind of Pokemon Go area. If I can transfer my Alolan Vulpix over to Let's Go Pikachu, and I can use my Vulpix then and evolve into Ninetales, it will be on the team. But if I can't do it till like post-game, I'm going to have a Tauros. And you're probably wondering why a Tauros? Well, I haven't used a Tauros in such a long time, And the fact I still don't have one in Pokemon Go. I've been playing Pokemon Go so much. I've been playing it for over, since the game came out, 2+ years. I don't have a Tauros. It's the only Pokemon I need to finish my Kanto dex. Luckily right now, there's an event on Pokemon Go where I can get a Tauros from an egg within 2 weeks from the Alolan eggs. I've just got to try and hatch as many eggs as I can and get lucky. But not having a Tauros in Pokemon Go, just that having that silhouette in my Pokedex going, you don't have a Tauros, ha 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 ha, it's making me want a Tauros so very bad. And the fact that we can play Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and it's in Kanto, I want a Tauros. I want a Tauros so bad, but I just have to see how the mechanics work first. If I can trade over my Alolan Vulpix before I can get a Tauros, we have an Alolan Vulpix on the team. If not, gonna be a Tauros. So on to Let's Go Eevee. Same situation with Tauros. Gonna be capturing a Tauros whatever game I play because I just really want to use one. But because if I have Ninetales, I don't want a Alolan Ninetales and a normal Ninetales on the team. I'm actually going to see if I can get my Alolan Raichu from Pokemon Go onto Let's Go Eevee, because Alolan Raichu is my favorite Alolan Pokemon. I love it to bits, and I don't want to have it on Let's Go Pikachu because I obviously want to keep my Pikachu. I don't want a Pikachu and Alolan Raichu. So Alolan Raichu would be a very good fit for the team, having that electric psychic type Pokemon. And I need to know how the mechanics work. If I can bring these Pokemon over into the game before I get a Tauros, these will be what will be on the team. If not, I'll just keep a Tauros. I mean, either way I'm going to be happy. But I've got one of each Alolan Pokemon ready to transfer from my Pokemon Go into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee ready for this situation. So I'm prepared. I just really hope I can get the Alolans onto my team before I finish the main story of the game. If not, I don't mind waiting till post-game. So the fourth Pokemon on my team for Let's Go Pikachu is going to be an Alakazam. Now I'm really excited to use an Alakazam because I have not used one in such a long time. And the problem with playing loads of ROM hacks, fan games, and even like Pokemon games on emulators is that I never really get these Pokemon that have to evolve through trades, unless like the game would implement a way where I can use like maybe a Link Stone or a Trade Stone on these Pokemon to evolve them instead of actually trading Pokemon. But through legit methods, I don't really get to use these Pokemon, so I never really used an Alakazam in a main series game growing up for such a long time because around Generation 3 my friends stopped playing, so I never really got to get them trade Pokemon. And back in Gen 1, Gen 2, trading was a hassle with a link cable and have to go to your friend's house, and my friends weren't the biggest Pokemon lovers, but obviously I still wanted to play, and it's not often I really got to trade with them and trade back to get my Alakazam or Golem, Machamp, whatever. So using that Pokemon is going to be really special to me. I really cannot wait to use it. And yeah, Alakazam is going to be my fourth team member on Let's Go Pikachu. So my fourth team member for Let's Go Eevee is going to be a Lapras. So I'm not going to get Alakazam for Let's Go Eevee if I can get my Alolan Raichu. So if I get a Tauros on Let's Go Eevee, I still might not get Alakazam. I'm more going towards a Lapras because, again, I do love Lapras, and hopefully we should still get that free Lapras from Silphco. I'm kind of banking on it, to be honest. But I really fancy using a Lapras, and I think Let's Go Eevee is going to fit in really well with the team. So I'm looking forward to using that, and that's going to be the fourth team member. So my fifth team member for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is going to be the same. It's going to be a Golem. Kind of same story as Alakazam. I've never really used a Golem too much because the whole trade situation, and I don't really want to use an Alolan Golem because obviously if I'm going to get Alolan Raichu or Pikachu, I'm going to have that electric type in. Like, a normal Golem is what I really want to use. Like, I've been using one in Pokemon Go quite a bit because obviously it's good against some legendary birds, but like, I've always kind of loved Golem's design. I've always as well kind of loved that fan art of a Mega Golem. Whether or not we get new Megas in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, we'll still find out, I don't know. Unlikely to get them, but I really hope we do. And if we do, I would really like Golem to get one. It's just like, Golem, to me, is such a cool looking Pokemon. I don't like Geodude, I don't like Graveler, but I really do like Golem. I think it's just like the round, like this ball, like his body. I just think it looks so cool when it's like heads and arms popping out. I think Golem is a really cool Pokemon, and the fact that I'm going to get, both games, my girlfriend's getting the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Switch, so we can trade, and I can get this Golem. It's just the opportunity is there to have one and use one on the team, and I just really want to use one. So, on to the sixth and final team member of Let's Go Pikachu. So for this, I'm going to be using a Poliwrath. I have not used a Poliwrath in such a long time. We need that water coverage, and I think Poliwrath would be a perfect fit for the team. Like, I do love his design. Honestly, I don't really like Politoed too much. If I had to choose between Politoed and Poliwrath, I'm always going to go towards Poliwrath because I think that dude is just so much like better and cooler looking than Politoed. But I do prefer Politoed's abilities. So obviously we can't get Politoed in Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, so I'm going to have to 100% go with Poliwrath. And if you're wondering why I'm going to be using a Poliwrath instead of a Lapras on Let's Go Pikachu, well, if we can get the Alola Ninetales, I don't need that part Ice type. So I think Poliwrath would pretty much the perfect choice here. The only other water types I kind of considered using were going to be Starmie, which I don't really need to use because we've got Alakazam, and the other was Seadra. Like, I do like Seadra, but part of me kind of wished that Kingdra was Generation 1, because I wouldn't mind using a Kingdra, I really wouldn't, but I don't really want to have Seadra on the team knowing that it should evolve into Kingdra, but we just can't get that Pokemon. I'm hoping maybe in the post-game we can evolve some Pokemon that have evolutions later on. Then I would 100% put Kingdra or Seadra on the team to get a Kingdra for post-game, and maybe like an Electabuzz for another team just to get, you know, that Electivire. It's unlikely. I think it's just going to be, you know, Gen 1 and Alolan form Pokemon, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. So, the final team member for Let's Go Eevee is going to be a Tangela. Now, I know what I just said about like not wanting to use a Pokemon because I know it evolves, but honestly, I just really want to use a Tangela. I looked at Tangrowth the other day and just thought, I don't think I've used a Tangrowth in like years and years, and I was just thinking, let's use a Tangela and Let's Go Eevee. I know it evolves on Tangrowth is going to kill me just knowing this Pokemon can evolve, but I can't for this game. But just looking at Tangela, like, I don't know what it is, but when I look at a Pokemon for the first time, I think, okay, I have my opinion of it, and then just maybe like years down the line, it somewhat changes and it's really weird. Like, I never liked Tangela, I never liked Tangrowth, but this past year, just looking at it, I thought to myself, you know what, I actually quite like its design. Like, I really do like Tangrowth quite a bit, and now looking at Tangela, I'm just like, I do like this Pokemon. I really do like its design, and I really want to use one. Like, I don't know what it is, what's making me change my mind. Maybe it's just me growing up and not thinking, you know, oh, this Pokemon looks terrible. It's not like badass like a, you know, like a Garchomp or something, so I don't like it. I don't know, maybe it's that. And then I used to think like that when I was a kid. Like, I used to think, oh, Charizard's the best looking Pokemon. Don't like Tauros, don't like Kangaskhan, they look terrible. And now I'm just like, I love Kangaskhan, I love Tauros, you know, Charizard, I still love Charizard. Just kind of appreciating more Pokemon. And Tangela is one of them Pokemon I don't know, I just really want to use. I just think he looks so cool, and I'm really looking forward to using one. I don't remember where you can capture one in Kanto. I'm thinking it was the Safari Zone. So, again, we'll have to wait and see where these Safari Zone Pokemon end up being placed in the game. Because obviously, if we've got no Safari Zone, we can't get the Chanseys, the Kangaskhan's, the Tauros, and I believe like you can get Tangela in there. I'm not sure if it's exclusive or not, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, this is what my team is going to be. It might change a little bit if like maybe a new Mega gets announced, or if we can evolve Kanto Pokemon that get evolutions in like other generations. I don't know, but right now this is what my team's going to be, and I'm actually very happy with it. It's probably not be the most competitive or most balanced team in the world, but I think playing through the game casually, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really cool team to use. For me, it's going to be a lot of Pokemon I haven't used in a very, very long time, which I am super okay with. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Like, if you guys want to let me know what your plans for your teams are in the comments down below, I would love to see what you guys are going to use. Like, part of me kind of wanted to use a Butterfree, but I was like, I've used a Butterfree so much, but maybe I'll use one on the team just for a teeny weeny bit. But by the time I get to the Elite Four and I enter the Hall of Fame, these are what I'm hoping my teams are going to look like. But maybe throughout the game, like when I'm like 3-4 badges in, they might be a little bit different just to help out with the gym battles. But by the time I get to the Hall of Fame, for Pikachu, this is what my team's going to be. And for Eevee, this is what my team's going to be. So I am very excited, very excited. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to smash a like button on it, subscribe for more videos, and next time we're going to be discussing the top 5 Pokemon I want to see get Megas, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Thank you guys for watching, have a great day, peace.